When Donald Trump lands in Asia, the world pays attention. Not just for his theatrics, but for what happens after that. According to experts, his 5 day trip across Japan, Malaysia, and South Korea is about redrawing the map of global power using rare earth minerals, tariffs, and trade as his new weapons. Rare earth minerals are the metals that make up fighter jets, electric cars, and smartphones. China dominates this space, refining nearly 90% of global supply. Reports suggest the US now wants to loosen grip with China by striking new partnerships across Asia while keeping economic pressure on Russia and India. In Japan, Trump inked trade and mineral deals that could reshape supply chains. In South Korea, his meeting with Xi Jinping led to what news outlets are calling a temporary truce between China and the US. Tariffs on Chinese goods were also slashed from 57% to 47%, and Beijing agreed to lift its export restrictions on rare earths for 1 year. The meeting in Busan may have eased tensions with Beijing, but it also threw into sharp contrast Trump's tougher stance on India, where Trump's tone was far tougher. As per US media sources, Washington will keep tariffs on Indian goods as high as 50% until New Delhi scales back its imports of Russian oil.
Overall see is that Trump is far more circumspect with China than the way he deals with India. So this is something that we need to look at. It's very important. Also, it also goes to show where a nation stands as far as the world is concerned. And in that sense, what you see between Trump and China is far more equitable. There is a give and take. China has agreed to open up or resume its exports of rare earth material. And Trump has said, fine, we will reduce the tariff on fentanyl. And also, China has agreed to take soybeans from the US. So there is a concrete give and take. And also, please notice that, the atmospherics, so it seems to be more equitable in that sense.
Policy watchers point out that Trump is juggling three fronts at once. One, courting China with selective tariff cuts. Two, sanctioning Russia's energy sector. And lastly, pressing India to choose sides. For him, it's also smart. As far as this trip of Trump is concerned, each country leaves with mixed fortunes. For the United States, the gains are immediate. Better access to strategic minerals, revived partnerships with key Asian allies, and a narrative of reclaiming control over global supply chains. For China, this is more of a short break than a win. By the US lifting export limits for a year, Beijing has gained some time, but now faces pressure as the US looks for other sources. Still, with control over 90% of global refining, China remains at the center of the mineral game. Meanwhile, Russia stands cornered. As the US strengthens Asian alliances, Moscow risks deeper isolation, forcing it to lean more heavily on Beijing and India to offset sanctions. Now, India finds itself walking a tightrope. On one side lies Washington, offering access to advanced technology, defense cooperation, and entry into global supply chains. On the other side stands Moscow, a longtime energy partner supplying affordable crude that fuels India's growing economy. The US has doubled tariffs on Indian goods, pressing Delhi to cut Russian oil imports. But India continues to defend its strategic autonomy, buying energy where it's affordable and keeping its options open. Experts say this balancing act is becoming harder as global rivalries deepen, lean too close to Washington, and India risks provoking Beijing or losing its independent image. Move too slowly, and it could face more economic pressure from the West. For now, India's approach seems clear: stay flexible, protect national interests, and ensure that no alliance, however powerful, dictates its choices. In the end, Trump's Asia tour isn't just another round of diplomatic photo ops. It's a signal of shifting global power. The US wants to control the minerals that fuel modern technology. China wants to protect its dominance, Russia wants to stay relevant, and India wants to stay independent. For now, the world is watching a high-stakes race unfold where minerals have become the new weapons and trade the new battlefield. The real question is, who will write the next chapter of this power game? The US, with its alliances, or China with its control?